Ladies and gentlemen, this is your critical WWE News update for the afternoon, and what I'm hearing tonight is both shocking, emotional, and absolutely game-changing for the WWE moving forward. We have a lot of headlines, a lot of news, and we don't have a hell of a lot of time to do it, so let's get right into a hype of the video. Become a channel member, donate below with a super thanks donation. Now, I don't know if this is a good business move, a stupid idea, but it's your thoughts, your comments, and your opinion. According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this time, at this hour, AEW has launched a bold attack on the Survivor Series. Yes, WWE getting roasted for its weakest WarGames build in years. Becky Lynch is throwing shade and causing real tension. Bryan Alvarez drops a bombshell about John Cena in the Survivor Series. And now the most serious update of the night. Doctors have reportedly issued a private warning, according to rumors and gossip online, regarding WWE's Brock Lesnar in his long-term in-ring future after a frightening medical situation backstage. Now, this story is going to be filled with excitement and twists and turns, and we are going to cover all of it as we dive into it for the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers, because nobody can stop me. Now, we got an AEW billboard ambush on the WWE Survivor Series. Yes, you heard that right. A billboard ambush on World Wrestling Entertainment during the Survivor Series weekend WarGames. Let's kick off with AEW's aggressive, some are calling it desperate move. AEW reportedly bought a massive billboard directly outside the Survivor Series venue, not blocks away, not down the street, no, right where WWE talent, executives, fans, and staff have to walk by it on the way to the Survivor Series this weekend. The billboard features their next major show with the message, "Wrestling fans, tune in to our show." You know, it's got Mercedes Moné on there. It's got Jon Moxley on there. You know, obviously, again, some would say that this is a great strategy. Some would say it is a dumb maneuver. Backstage WWE reactions are all over the place. Some launched and said and laughed and said, classic Tony Khan. Some called it pathetic. Others called it brilliant timing on the part of AEW. Will this finally get more eyes on AEW? Will AEW get better ratings? Will they get better ticket sales? Will they now get sold out events because of what is going on? One source said, according to those in the know, one source said, and again, AEW saw WWE's weakest storyline weekend and pounced. And that's what lead us straight into our next story. WWE being roasted for their WarGames build. And I don't know, guys, do you agree with this? Are you for this, or are you quite frankly against this? Social media tonight is a war zone, but not the good kind on a Friday night. WWE is being roasted left and right for its lack of storylines in the WarGames build. You've got fans saying, this feels random, WarGames with no real stakes. How does WWE mess up creating tension before the Survivor Series? One insider said, WWE intentionally did a bare minimum WarGames build because of internal rewrites. Rewrites that may be connected to Brock Lesnar's health later in the show. And we're going to get a major blockbuster update on Brock Lesnar's WWE future in the doctor's warning. But the main criticism, WWE hasn't given fans a reason to emotionally invest in these teams. And trust me, the reason of the roast session is not slowing down. Even talent backstage are questioning decisions, according to those in the know at this time and at this hour. But speaking of backstage heat, Becky Lynch seems to be causing a lot of backstage tension on the way and the road to the Survivor Series, because we are now receiving word that Becky Lynch is stirring things up on purpose. During a recent episode, Becky claimed WrestleMania 40 ticket sales were sold. The main reason WrestleMania 40 tickets were sold was because of her, not referees, not undercard talent, not supporting acts. And she threw subtle shade at referee Jessica Carr by applying fans didn't buy to see officials. Also, the backstage reaction. Some loved it, Becky being Becky. Some said she went too far. Jessica herself reportedly annoyed. But here's the twist. Some believe Becky's comment was a strategic character move, something to heat up for an upcoming storyline. WWE might turn this into a real on-screen arc. Becky versus authority, Becky versus critics, Becky versus that rising internal tension. And while Becky's stirring the pot, WWE could be cooking up something else backstage, which goes into yet our next story. Bryan Alvarez dropped a huge storyline reveal on the Wrestling Observer Live. He said that the storyline involving John Cena and Dominic Mysterio is not only in motion, but extremely locked in. Of course, plans can always change. It's always subject to change. His exact wording was, John won the title from Dominic on Raw in Boston. The plan, and plans can change, is that John Cena is beating Dominic Mysterio and retaining the IC title at the Survivor Series, despite initial rumors that Rey Mysterio could turn heel and join his son Dominic Mysterio. Again, that was only rumor because remember, Rey Mysterio has never turned heel in WWE. Rey Mysterio may have been a heel or a bad guy elsewhere, perhaps WCW, but it has never been that way in the WWE. Rey Mysterio has been one of the most consistent baby faces over the last well over a decade, viewers. Now, this tells us that John Cena's final run may be a series of victories over younger heels. But here's the twist, viewers. Here is the twist. Some speculate Dominic's storyline humiliation is leading to a massive character change, possibly even a split from the Judgment Day. Yes, you heard that right. A possible potential split from the Judgment Day. Or a heel versus heel obsession feud with John Cena. Or a redemption arc heading into WrestleMania next year for Dirty Dom. WWE loves multi-layer arcs, and this could be one of them, but none of these stories match the seriousness of our next segment that we are going to get into. And believe me, viewers, fans, and subscribers, this one is huge. This one is pivotal. This one is blockbuster proportions. And now your critical WWE update that has rocked the entire locker room. Ever since Monday Night on Raw, when Brock Lesnar had that fall, when he had that slip, when Brock Lesnar collided with the Raw stage, the Raw ramp, when the entire world saw it, everybody was talking about it. Memes, viral, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. It was all over the internet. It was really something else. It was a wave like we have not seen in a long damn time, especially when it concerns somebody that has the validity, the speciality, the importance, the intrigue of Brock Lesnar, one of the greatest in-ring of all time. Well, we got a huge update on that. Multiple sources, again, claims that doctors have issued a serious internal warning regarding the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar's condition and long-term in-ring future following his Raw entrance fall, his backstage collapse, according to rumors and gossip, his breathing irregularities, his dizziness episodes, his refusal of immediate medical evaluation. And tonight's new twist, viewers, the new twist as it concerns Brock Lesnar. Doctors reportedly told, again, according to gossip online, not confirmed, doctors reportedly told WWE executives to closely monitor Brock Lesnar, with some warning he may not be cleared for in-ring competition if symptoms continue. One source from someone close to the situation, Brock is a machine, but people forget machines do break too. Another internal whisper, WWE is worried, really worried. Officials are discussing potentially removing Brock for short-term plans, rewriting Survivor Series backup options, monitoring Brock for neurological evaluation, or conditioning tests before any future appearances from Brock Lesnar, who we all know has a big thing to do with the Survivor Series this weekend, as he will be one of, if not the captain of his Survivor Series squad. Now, this is not small news. This is not just speculation stuff. This is a serious internal gossip that is happening behind the scenes. Now, WWE has always protected Brock because he draws huge ratings, pay-per-view buys, and he is star power. But this is the first time in years that anyone has had concerns about Brock Lesnar. The only other time that there was a major concern concerning Brock Lesnar is when he had that huge diverticulitis scare, and he almost died on the way to the hospital. Brock Lesnar almost died on the way to the hospital, but that was years and years ago. Now, if the warnings are accurate, and again, if the rumors are true, rumors are true. You see, here's the thing. People like to say, oh, Sean, you're a liar, you're a clickbaiter, you're a con artist. You don't know the difference between lies and rumors. You don't know the difference between gossip and headlines. You don't know the difference between breaking news and hearsay. You just don't know the differences. I give to you what I see, what I read, and for everyone to say everything I've ever said is a lie, is absolutely wrong, and I'm going to sue you. I'm going to bring you to court, and I'm going to sue you, and that's the end of that. That's the bottom line. For the next person that comes on here and says everything that I've said is a lie, every single thing I have said over the past decade, over the past 10 years, I'm going to just bring you to court. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you. And I'm going to find you. And whether it be an IEP address, an SEO, Lexapress, whether it be, whether it be a lawyer, I'm going to sue you. That's the bottom line, because you're hurting my reputation. You're hurting my show by saying that I'm just a liar, that I lie about everything, that nothing I say is true. Nothing I say is true. Imagine telling somebody nothing that you say is true. Nothing you say is legitimate. Nothing you say is credible. You go over a decade. I've been on YouTube for well over a decade. I've been on YouTube longer than some of you have been born. Okay? All right? I've been on here for a long damn time, and I'm not going to take it lying down no more. I'm going to sue every last son of a gun of an unnamed go. I don't care if you're a man, a girl, a fiend, a tween, in between. I don't care if you're old. I am done with the harassments. I'm done with the comments. I'm done with it all. I am going to be putting my foot down because there ain't no more Mr. Nice Guy anymore. There is going to be retaliation. There is going to be no trepidation. There is going to be no more backing down because of you little keyboard warriors, you faceless trolls. You think you know what you're talking about, but you don't know a damn thing. Okay? When you are too dumb and you're too stupid to look up what a rumor means and what gossip means and what speculation means. But oh no, what do you call it? You just call it a lie. You just call it a lie. Well, you know what? Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the issue. But again, I'm going to sue each and every one of you that says I'm a liar. Because again, you're hurting my reputation. You're hurting my show. And it's an absolute lie for you to call me and everything I've ever said a lie. So expect many massive lawsuits. Expect a lot of courtroom. Expect a lot of that happening because I'm going to do it and I don't give a damn. Now, WWE has always protected Brock Lesnar because he draws ratings and pay-per-view buys and star power. But this is a story that we will continue to develop. And again, with Survivor Series tomorrow, yes, I will keep you updated every step of the way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been tonight's Critical WWE Update. Make sure you subscribe with all notifications on. Drop a comment as it boosts the video. Leave a like if you appreciate the grind. And stay tuned because Brock Lesnar's situation seems far from over at this stage of the game with WarGames right around the corner. And is it going to take a hell of a turn? The tide of this is absolutely unexpected and unpredictable. It is absolutely shocking, the developments we are seeing and what they are hinting at this stage of the game. Viewers, fans, and subscribers, if it weren't for you, there would be no Sean. Remember, I am here for 3 reasons. My viewers, my fans, my subscribers / channel members. Yes, the channel members that are with me every step of the damned way. Now, on top of that, we got some bonus material. We got some bonus coverage. Ric Flair backtracks after saying street drugs killed Hulk Hogan. And again, Ric Flair probably was catching a lot of hate, a lot of criticism, a lot of backlash online for that. Ric Flair just issued an update after his earlier comments about Hulk Hogan's death set off a firestorm across the wrestling world. There seems to be some controversy over my remarks that street drugs killed Hulk Hogan. I only was repeating what I know to be a fact through family members. Flair doubled down on how severe Hogan's physical condition reportedly was in his final years, especially his final days, listing all the surgeries, the chronic pain that the former WWE champion Hulk Hogan had endured. He used that context to emphasize why he believed Hogan may have turned to alternative sources for relief. After 11 back surgeries, hip replacements, knee replacements, shoulder replacements, and 2 neck surgeries, I am sure the pain was unbearable. He then addressed why Hogan may have reached a breaking point, pointing out that medical limitations or prescriptions leave patients in desperate ailments and situations. A doctor, as I know, can only prescribe so much pain medication under medical guidelines. I have been told that they all did this was to help him to help him, not to hurt him. Eventually, that catches up with you, as we all know, with everybody. Ric Flair followed up by clarifying that he never meant to damage Hogan's reputation and that his earlier comments came from a place of respect and personal connection. He ended his update with a nod to their decade-long friendship. He was my friend, a man I respected, and I'm only hoping and I'm only reporting what I've been told. Nothing more, nothing less. This was not an attempt to demean Hogan or his legacy. I have always referred to him as being one of the 2 biggest stars in the industry, himself and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I apologize if people misunderstood my statement. Hulkamania forever. Flair's attempt to clarify his remarks will likely spark even more debate. Whether his explanation claims or calms the backlash or fuels new questions remains to be seen, especially as Hogan's family has not responded publicly to all of this. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Is the fix absolutely in? Plenty more to come. Subscribe, click the bell, because if it's not brash, well, then you know it's never gonna last. Later.